Redline logbook here for Wistoria, chapter 35. And we start off where we left off with Curdwin saving both Will and Julius. And apparently Julius has heard of her. She's considered one of the myths of the Academy, just like the Searchers. But unlike the Searchers, who is a myth that where they are recruiting you for the tower, Codwin apparently kidnaps you and uses you for experiments. So she's considered an evil witch. Curdwin actually says that's a ridiculous notion and is a little hurt by it, but she seems to be playing along at the same time. She's both a serious and unserious person. It's basically her personality. And she decides just to grab Will and Julius, not even giving them the chance to respond, and just flies off with them. She takes them to a place where she offers them their home-cooked meal, and Will starts immediately eating. Julius is suspicious of this, assuming it's poison, but Will's like, well, if Kiki says it's fine, then it's fine. Kiki does have a strong nose, so he'd be able, or she, I'm not sure what Kiki is, would be able to tell if it's poisonous or not. But yeah, that's basically how this goes forward, where Will is very trusting of her and Julius is suspicious as all hell. So we learn this place belongs to Kirui. Yeah, that Kirui. Kirui apparently made this place in secret, so no one knows about it except for her and Kerwin, because Kerwin is Kirui's master, which makes perfect sense. A witch training another witch. Kirui really does have her master's personality, I gotta say that. This makes Julius even more suspicious because he's assuming that she might be an assassin sent by the institution to kill the two of them. Kerwin then decides to prove a point where she, without casting a single spell, summons every elemental attack spell around them. That's right, she doesn't just use fire magic, she uses every single element except for light. And she straight up tells them that if she really was an assassin enough to kill them, she could do it in 2 seconds flat. At this point, Julius has no reason to deny her. He doesn't like it, and in fact, he gets really jealous that Will is wanting to trade under her instead of working with him. And finally, after proving that she can easily kill them, so she's not an assassin, she decides to then finally sweeten the deal to get Julius to finally agree to it. And when she does, she offers up information on Weiss. That's right, this secret power that Will has that no one knows anything about. She knows a little bit. She doesn't know a lot, but she knows more than they do, and that's all that matters at the moment. She also says this is probably the best option they have because currently there are forces in the Institute that are going to get them killed. And so they're going to have to do all their training in this secret room that no one else knows about. That's when we move over to the secret cabal that is currently trying to get Will. It's Kurt's, obviously. It's not really much of a secret. Kurt is apparently batshit crazy. So the man that's right under Kurt's authority in the tower, Charles, is very confused on why Kurt would make an enemy of Elfie. So Kurt doesn't believe in absolute power. What he believes in is winning by numbers. And the celestial invasion can only be defeated by sheer numbers, not by there being a sole powerful individual that can hold it off. And so his main plan is to bolster even weak mages to be as powerful as possible. And split out in front of him is currently the Devon and a mage killer. And his research into the mage killer has actually gone so well at this point where he's already been promising mass production of it. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to supply every mage with a mage killer. And that's the point of Will. Just as he figured out how to replicate the mage killer for mass production, he wishes to do the same with Wise. He wishes to use Will so he can figure out whatever Wise is, so then he can give it to every single mage, so they then have ultimate power as well. And the way he's going to do that is by dissecting Will. And he means that literally, like he starts chopping up the body of the Devon just for the sheer fun of it. Like he actually enjoys cutting up dead bodies apparently. Charles apparently already knew about this, personality trait, and he's disturbed by it. But what makes him even more afraid is that if Elfie ever figures out what he plans on doing to Will, the Institute will be annihilated. Back with Will, Curdwin has been explaining the whole thing about Will becoming a lab rat. And not just that, but she's actually been watching them for a while now, for a long time. And the only reason why she got involved now is because she doesn't want Will to be chopped up. That and Elfie begged her to help. Will finally agrees to join her in her training. Julius gets even more pissed off about this, jealous of the fact that Will just abandoned him. Codwin thinks that they're good friends and thinks it's actually cute the way they act with each other. She then hugs the both of them, declares that they should start with their training, and tell Will to take off his shirt. So Will does as she says. He's extremely embarrassed. Julius calls her a pervert, and she is kind of acting like a pervert, but she says there's a legitimate reason for this. Julius continues to scream until he realizes Will's body is covered in scars, like deep, large scars covering his body. And Julius just realized at this moment just how often Will risked his life to get into the tower. Kerwin then touches the scar on Will's back and asks him, how did he get this one? And Will's response is, I got it, I think, protecting Elfie when we were kids. And that's when Codwin says, okay, I think I just found the key to unlocking the gate. And this is where we then get a better explanation of Will's ability and what happened when Finn gave him a sword and he activated Wise for the first time. time. First off, she complimented Julius for saying that his plan for unlocking Will's ability by having him steadily train by keeping magic hold in his sword at all times was actually quite brilliant, and it was on the right path. Julius assumes she's going to say, but that wasn't the right way to go, and she goes, no, that was the exact right way to go. You're an amazing mage. You just need to work on your personality. The one who's actually getting in the way of this training is actually Will himself. Will needs to use the magic in his own body. And then Will's like, I don't have magic. Curdwin then says, no, you do. You were born from a mage, therefore you have mage's blood flowing through you. The problem is that your body completely stores all magic inside of it, refusing to let it go. And you need to learn how to release it like you did before. A whole new different power other than magic. And that's when Will remembers back when he was fighting the Devon and he started glowing with the white hair and such. That was the stored magic in his body that he can't release his magic power being released as something else altogether. That limit off ability of his, Weiss. And so she tells Will the way to figure out how to unlock this ability on command is through his memories, something in his past. And so she draws a magic circle, puts Will in the center of it, then taps the scar on his back. So she's specifically sending him to this memory, this time period. Most likely this was the first time he ever activated Weiss, he just doesn't remember it. And she's going to force him to remember. And next thing you know, Will's soul just slips from his body, falls into the magic circle, and appears in his memory. He's now little Weiss, and out of nowhere runs up Elfie. The two of them are little kids running through the woods, and so not to get lost or hurt, Elfie promises to stay by his side and protect him. So the next chapter, we're going to see Will unlock the power of Weiss, or at least get the memory of how to unlock the power of Weiss. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give a thumbs up so you can enjoy more with story and other things. Thank you, and have a great day.